All right, Matt. Well, we
We
made
made
it.
it.
We made it to the final, I guess, podcast episode. We'll get into kind of the logistics of how we're gonna really send off the show for now, at least. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're here. It's been 4 seasons or 4 years of us doing this. We started this way back in uh
2021.
fall of 2021. And just a little caveat, my get up here is reminiscent. Matt too is we're kind of mimicking our first episode like outfits. Although I got a different jersey now, Matt. I don't know if you've seen this one. This is the World Series. Oh, sorry, wrong side. World Series edition Freddie Freeman one that I just had to get. You know, um,
Good for you. Good for you.
um, but yeah, I mean we've come a long way. Uh, I mean, funny enough, I don't think our tech changed at all. Like I'm still using the same mic. I think this is the same webcam I've been using this whole time. So not a lot of honestly upgrades or
My
anything.
my headphones changed.
Oh,
Remember
your
I used to
headphones
have the
changed? Actually,
Beats?
yeah, actually, and my headphones changed. That's right too. I got the Logitech ones now. You know, nothing we earned from the show. We didn't earn a single dime from the show.
Dude,
Like we had
why you gotta
one
say that
we had one
live?
day we had one day planned to do it. Well, I mean, like we never monetized it, so that's not like that obvious. Anyway, whatever. It's all coming out now. This is the end. Who cares? Um, No, but seriously though, it's been fun. Been a fun ride. We'll kind of get to more of the wrapping stuff up at the end, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun kind of last episode. Where obviously we talk finals, a little bit of baseball, and then yeah, we'll send this thing off. But before we get into basketball talk, Matt, um, I mean, you had a trip. How's your trip?
I had a trip. It was great. I went to Florida, first time in Florida. And for those of you that know me, you probably can kind of guess where I went if I didn't tell you. Yeah, Disney park guy. So
Mm-hmm.
did the whole 7 parks in 7 days, Universal and Disney. So it's not built for everyone, I'll say. Especially you, out of all people.
Especially, well, you know what? I've been, and if I had never been to Disney World, I'd be like, yeah, let me go to Disney World. But I've been
No,
there.
but
I've
would
been
you
there.
go from opening to closing
Oh, of course not, you
every
psychopath.
day?
You're psychotic, though. You are actually sick in the head. Um, every day, open till close, is some kind of like
Okay, well, I
different
lied.
mind.
It wasn't opening to closing, but like mid morning, I would say
I mean,
till
still, that's
closing.
pretty good. That's some Mamba mentality type of stuff right there. Like, I'm
Yep.
gonna go and I'm gonna grind out these parks. Hey, so salute to you in the June Florida heat too. So hey, I tip my cap to you for being able to do that because I know I couldn't. Plus, I would be drinking, so like I'd be even more dehydrated. I'm the type of
Yeah.
guy I could probably go like 4 or 5 hours, eat lunch, and then I don't know, guys. Should we take a nap for like an hour, go back and just chill? Okay, yeah, yeah, sounds good to me, guys. All right, let's go do that. But
I
yeah,
had one
got
drink in 2 weeks. One
honestly
drink.
pretty impressive.
One drink.
I can't believe you didn't do the drink around the world thing though. Like I feel like that's almost a must.
No, in my
Um,
head, I wanted to, but because that was my one drink, it was at Epcot. I said, I have to have a drink at Epcot. If
yeah,
out of one place, it has to be at Epcot. So
100%.
I went to Mexico and I got a margarita because I wanted something
Oh,
refreshing. You
refreshing.
know,
Hey,
like I don't want wine in the 90-degree heat.
oof,
Like that's beer.
yeah.
Like, no, like I want something refreshing. So I got a margarita.
Hey, Mari's a good choice in Florida in Epcot. Yeah, that don't think you can go wrong there. So,
Yeah.
well, that's great. Hope glad you had a fun time. I didn't really do much, although I did have an OBO game. was last Thursday now, and I fought a ball off my ankle, so my foot's been swollen for 4 days. So that's fun. I
You gotta get a
will
shin guard now.
I will be wearing I will be purchasing not only a shin guard, but you know what? Might as well get the elbow guard too, because I'm not getting any younger. My body's not healing any faster than it used to. And unfortunately, we're just getting old, Matt. So like I gotta protect myself, you know? Um,
You're gonna
and
be
it's
that guy
unfortunate.
with the
And you know
excessive
what? Everyone's
accessories
gonna it's
batting.
gonna look excessive and blah blah blah. But guess what? I'm getting old and I'm getting brittle. Okay. And I'm not gonna show the picture of my foot because it's not so nice to look at. Um, but I will say I'll show you after this. Basically, half of my foot still is purple. So it's not fun. Like it's not a fun, pleasant thing to look at. It feels better than it looks. But yeah, getting old. So gotta invest in the protection, you know. Um, don't care if I look like a douchebag. I don't care. Like I'm sorry, I'm gonna protect myself from now on. So
Then you have to
um
wear sunglasses too when you bat.
well I wear shades if I wear shades all the time, like during the
Even when you
game.
bat?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, but see, I've noticed that the MLB guys don't do that, right? Like they take it off, right? But for me, there's something like when you change it during the game, that throws me off for whatever reason. Like I need to have that same. If I'm gonna wear shades, I wear shades the whole time. If I'm not gonna wear them, I'm not gonna wear them. Like I can't be on off fielding and hitting. Like that's I don't know why. That's just my thing. Like I need to be consistent with whatever it is throughout the game. It just throws me off. I don't know. But yeah. So that I'm sure you had a much more fun week and a half than I have. But let's get into I guess we can start talking about basketball now. So finals wrapped up, Matt. Um I mean, you got the prediction right. You had the Thunder. I think but you didn't say in seven,
I
huh? What
said
did you say in
Thunder in
six?
five. I was
Oh, in
really
five.
confident.
Yeah. I see.
It
I
was
know.
one shot ruined that prediction. I will say.
Well, I will also say one game kind of that the Pacers fumbled ruined my prediction too of Pacers in six. So, I mean, we were both fairly close, but glad it was a good series, right? Um, after two games, you know, it was tied at one, and going back to Indiana, it was like okay, Indiana did their job, right? They got those two wins out of the or they split in Oklahoma City, and even after that they come out in that game three, um, and like I thought after that game three, I was oh man, the Thunder just messed up, like because now they were on their heel for pretty much the first time all season, right? Um, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, if Indiana can win this game four at home, like it's over, right? And game three, that was kind of the Benedict Mathurin legacy game, which is, I mean, honestly, kind of crazy. Um, but I mean, he really showed up and showed out for them. Um, Also, like TJ McConnell, the whole series was huge, right? But um, I've said this throughout the course of this podcast, Matt. In a 7 game series, to me, obviously it goes without saying, game seven is the most important, yada yada. Right. But then I always say, in my opinion, game four is almost like that next biggest game, right? Because either you're going for the sweep or it's a difference between 3-1 or 2-2, right? So you're right there. You have the chance to really put the pressure on the Thunder, who, like I said, have been a really dominant team even throughout these playoffs. But to really push them to the brink. And for a lot of that game four, it looked like that they were going to get pushed to that brink. Um, until I think the Thunder showed some grit, right? And said, nah, especially Shea, who had a great series, by the way. Um, we'll talk about his kind of legacy and stuff later, but he had a great series, and Tyrese had one of those games where it's like, all right, Tyrese, it's time for you to show up and deliver, you know, a a clutch dagger performance. And it's like 18 points, 1 of 7 from three, chance to go up 3-1 in this series. And even down the stretch, right? Matherin, who had a huge game three, misses huge free throws down the stretch in the fourth quarter. And it's like, oh man, this Pacers team that's been able to make magic all postseason long, right? Kind of had the reverse done to them where they had the lead uh in the fourth and they get outscored big, right? By double digits by the Thunder, who essentially kind of come and steal that game four. And after that one, man, I was like, ooh, that one is gonna hurt. Like I think everyone kind of knew like, man, that was the Pacers' chance to really, shock the world here. Because even if you go 3-1, then you just need to win 1 out of 3, right? The rest of the way, anything can happen. But after that loss, I was like, oh man, that one's gonna sting, right? But then obviously Oklahoma City goes back, gets a win. Uh, Pacers do what they've done all year. They fought, come out in that big game six at home. Um, they were able to kind of keep that offense in check. A lot of the role players showed out. TJ, like I said, had a great series. Obi Toppin, though, off the bench at home. They always say, right, like role players play better at home. Kind of saw that across the board, even without needing Tyrese to do too much. And I was like, oh man, this is huge, right? Because he didn't really play most of that second half, right? They were able to rest him on that calf. It's like, all right, well, they did their job, right? They win that game six. And now here we are, game seven, NBA finals, where literally anything can happen. It's a one time thing. If it's a fluke, if it's someone has an off game, anything can happen, right? Either side. And just, I think tragic for somewhat the NBA, but and a lot of NBA fans, right? It's like so much hype, so much anticipation on a series that really, people weren't too hyped about, right? The series, thanks to the Pacers, kind of made it into a good watch or a suspenseful watch. And it's almost exactly like I'm reminiscing back to I'm guessing it's that 2022
It's the KD.
Super
You talking
Bowl.
about KD? Oh, you're talking
So
about Super Bowl.
I'm talking Super Bowl. Well, I mean, yeah, Katie's the obvious one, but another one for me, right? Odell um goes
Mm.
down, right? Where he's cooking early and in the Super Bowl, boom, ACL done, right? And then yeah, obviously KD in that finals, right, where he's cooking. But I mean, that finals game was brutal too, because I mean, or that final series, Clay and KD go down with season ending injuries, right? But definitely, obviously, that KD one, very reminiscent. Um, that's kind of one of the earlier times I can recall seeing the Achilles, right? Like in that slow motion. It's just like, ooh. And I mean, once they showed that first replay of Tyrese, I think everyone knew, anyone that has seen it before saw it again. And man, I mean, honestly, my heart just broke for Tyrese, for the Pacers, and for the fans. Because I mean, honestly, you know, probably one of the best Pacers series in their franchise history. I would imagine, right? Because do they have any? Do they have any titles, Matt? I don't think they have any,
Nope.
right?
Nope. That's
And
why
they're
it meant so much to them because
yeah.
they're one win away from
Hmm.
history,
Yeah.
literally, for them.
And they're not as new of a team as this Thunder team, right? Or even the Sounders back when they were the Sounders. So, this Pacers team has been around
Yeah, Reggie
basketball
couldn't do it.
for a while,
Chris
yeah.
Mullin couldn't do it.
So, for them to be that close and really just a magical run, right? From the first series to the second series to the third series, and it's like, oh man, it's the storybook season, and here we are in game 7, still big underdogs on the road, and Tyrese comes out flaming, right? 3 straight threes, hits one like deep one too, and it's like, oh man, here we go. Like, I think this is gonna be the Tyrese Halliburton legacy game, where it's all the overrated talk, right? All this, he's too inconsistent. Even by our standards, right? We've been saying that this whole time. Too inconsistent in these playoffs. Is he a superstar? Is he not a superstar? Uh, it was all seemingly gonna get settled in this game 7, and then Shea on the other end. Oh, Shea, yeah, you're the MVP, you're the scoring champ, but push to game 7, like, what do you got now, right? So the trajectory of two of these guys' legacies on the line here. But if for it to kind of not end like that, but for Tyrese to see him on the floor, um that emotional, and I can only imagine, you know his reaction was more emotional than it was physical, right? Because I'm sure he was in a lot of pain, Matt, but I think you could just see the frustration. Like, can't even imagine all the emotions he must have been going through, right? Like, you've worked your whole life to get to this moment, a chance to be in the NBA Finals. It's game 7. You started off so hot, right? You're playing through this injury, and in an instant, like, because he knew, like, right in the slow motion, he kind of said, like, I did it, or I did, or something, because they must have asked, like, did it pop or something. And he knew instantly, and it just, like, yeah, I can imagine, like, it just, time slowed down. you know Not only this season is over, you're not going to get to finish this finals game, but now realistically you're out the entire year next year too. Road to recovery, all this must be going through his head in like an instant, right? So my heart goes out for him to him. A lot of unfortunate, like, this is what, the third Achilles, I think, this playoffs, Matt. We had Dame,
Third,
Tatum, and now Tyrese. So I mean,
number zero. Just don't wear number zero.
numbers, and yeah, and numbers. Yeah, I think it's time to retire that number. But um, honestly,
I'll
my
say
heart just broke
this.
for him.
I'll say this about the Halliburton injury before we move on from it, though. Like, I didn't watch it live, but then I watched most of the game. But just seeing how Tyrese started, like with the highlights and everything, and then kind of getting into the flow of the game, I actually believe that with the way Tyrese was playing, the Pacers would have won Game 7. Like, I just think you could see the way that the Pacers were playing the rest of the first half. Like, after that injury, it was just like everybody was like, oh, well, Game 7, we're gonna get this epic clash between Mr. Clutch in the playoffs and the MVP of the league to win the title. And then when obviously when a superstar goes down, it just, you can feel it even from Thunder fans. It's like, man, like, you just feel the air sucked out of the arena. And it was just kind of disappointing, just to see how the game ended. But I have to give props to the Pacers because you can't even predict that or like prepare for that. Like, it's one thing. Well, it's a game 40 of the regular season. Somebody goes down. It sucks, but you have another 40 games to get an identity. If you're a playoff borderline team, how are we going to be able to continue this season? But in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, this is this is it. Like there is no preparation. Like you just have to go on the fly and
Hmm.
react. And so much credit I give to Rick Carlisle, to all the Pacers players, because they easily could have quit in that instance, but they didn't. They scrapped. They don't have the superstars like the Thunder do, especially with Halliburton out. And somehow they had the lead at the half. And at the same time, I still didn't believe they were going to win at that
No,
point
no
because
shot. Yeah.
the Thunder, it was just a matter of time. But I'm really sad because I always said I want a good series in this one. I picked the Thunder, yada yada. I can say whatever about Shea and Hallie, but I wanted a good series. And in my head, I was picking the Thunder. Like that's just a logical thing, I think. But in my heart, I really did want the Pacers to win, especially after they pushed it to 7 games,
Hmm.
because I just wanted that underdog stories, a narrative that the NBA would be like, how are we gonna market this one now?
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
Shea is kind of like the golden child, right? Their MVP. Like, yeah, but just Tyrese going down, he might have had. I mean, I don't know about game sevens. Like, obviously, LeBron with the block and Kyrie with the shot. Um, Ron Artest with the three against the Celtics, right? I'm just trying to think of these game
The
seven
game seven,
moments.
those are like the recent game seven moments that
Yeah,
come to mind.
but I just think out of those games, like LeBron had a triple double. I'm trying to just go back down memory lane. Triple double. Like Kobe didn't play a great game seven against the Celtics,
I remember that.
but it was that shot by Artest. It was just a dirty, ugly game. But if Tyrese Halliburton was gonna play like this, he might have had 40.
Or
40
man,
points, 10 assists, and I genuinely think they would have won the game. And it kind of just sucks because I wanted to see that happen and just see how the game played out. And
hmm,
I think we would be having a different conversation, meaning the league and
yeah,
basketball fans,
oh, man,
because
and that's what I
it
was
was
looking
right
forward to so
there.
much. Uh huh.
He would have did it. I genuinely think he would have did it. He would have silenced everybody after
And
this.
change the whole. I think, man, and we'll get to this on the stream because this is a stream topic. I kind of want to talk about, after this last pod, but um, how it would have affected what a ring means in terms of legacy or how good you are, or you know what I mean, right? Because I mean Tyrese, obviously he's such an anomaly because shows up consistently in the biggest moments, right? But also, you know, a little bit too consistently as well has these off games, and just so odd to see a player where it's like you flip a coin, which Tyrese are we getting tonight? Fairly passive one that, or one that can't, find a shot, or the one that when all the money's on the table, he's not going to miss, right? So and it would have been such an interesting dynamic for the Pacers of how they were built, right? How their pace of play is different from anyone else. And, yeah, they got the MVP on the other side and all these like defenders, but here's this Pacers team that can play together too, and they're scrappy too, and would have changed, I think, a lot of perspectives on how teams are going to be built for the future, right? How like how much does a ring, solidify a player's legacy, and like, if say Tyrese had won this ring, right? Go back to a guy like I see a lot now, Chris Paul, who, I mean, honestly, at this rate, depends where he lands next season, but right, if he ends his career with no ring, James Harden, if he happens to end his career with no ring, are we saying Tyrese Halliburton is a better player than those two guys? Like, I don't know. I'm not too sure. But he'll have the ring. So what does that mean in terms of, I mean, it would have just opened up this huge kind of worms that I would have been so looking forward to discussing. But um second thing too, Matt, just real quick on that game seven, like we I feel like as basketball fans, just cruel to have been robbed of a late game seven scenario, right? Close
Yeah.
game scenario. Even if it's a 5 point, game with a minute to go or something like that, where it's like, oh man, this is it. Like there's no tomorrow. Who's gonna execute? What plays are gonna, determine the outcome of this game? And after Tyrese went down, it kind of just felt like you said, Indiana, maybe they'll hang around for a little bit, but it's just a matter of time before they're on the road, they're without their guy. It's just not gonna happen, right? Unfortunately, that was the case. It was just kind of anticlimactic. Like you could even sense, right, when they had a little bit of that Pacers spark in the fourth to cut it from whatever it was like 20 down to 12. And it's like, oh, maybe they have a chance. And then, turnover or something, missed shot or something. It's like, man, if Tyrese was out there on the floor right now, right, how many of these shots are going in? And maybe we're having a completely different discussion. So kind of cruel, I think, of the basketball gods, on one hand for the Tyrese injury and how it kind of just robbed the NBA fans of what could have been. We could have had another Kyrie moment, right? Or like you said, Ron Artest moment, and now we'll never know. But
I think
um,
I think Tyrese would have had a I don't want to just fortune tell, but I genuinely thought with the way he started, he would have a Kyrie Irving kind of moment. Like he's gonna hit a shot to put them up late with like 10 seconds and they were gonna win it. Like
and
I just thought you can just see it in his eyes, like in the high, like those clips. Like he's like
dialed.
MJ, like LeBron game six, Boston, like Kobe, like I'm coming for blood kind, like
Mhm.
like that's the Tyrese like we want to see.
Yeah,
I mean, not every night, because how do you get worked up for a game seven, right? Like
right,
your
right.
adrenaline is just flowing, but more of the aggressive, like I'm the best player on this team. Let me show you. I'm not even the team. I'm the best player on the court. I don't care if Shea is the
Hmm.
MVP. Watch this. Like, and the NBA is so good now. There's a lot of guys on each team that, you know, all star, all NBA guys, like team by team, really. You can pick a guy like that. So it's just how do you kind of build that up for yourself as an individual and kind of just find a way to motivate yourself. And man, with the way Tyrese was coming out, like
Oof,
he had everything. He really had
stripped,
everything,
man.
and
Yeah,
it was just stripped,
just
stripped away.
cooking. Yeah. Um, but I
But
mean,
I
like you
mean,
said,
yeah, I mean, at the same time, you have to give credit to the Thunder.
oh
You still
yeah,
have to give
yeah.
credit to the Thunder,
That's where I was going with.
because they had a lot of pressure. Because you lose a game if Tyrese gets hurt in Game Seven and you lose at home, people might lose their jobs in OKC. And as yes, it's a young team, but Shea, that's a big hit. Coach Dagnall, that's a big hit. Sam Presti, how many times you're gonna flame out? With pretty good rosters, like maybe the best chance they had, and you don't come up with the chip. Like I just think they had a lot of pressure, and they answered the call, and you have to give them credit for that because it's not easy. It's not easy to do those kind of things, and their superstars came to play. And I always say this, we always say this, but in big games, you need your superstars to show up. And they all did in their own way. And Chet, Jalen, and Shea. Like Shea was kind of, he's finals MVP. You know what you're going to get from him. Jalen Williams had I would say the big third quarter run that really pushed the game to like, you felt like it was over. And then Chet was just an absolute beast on the defensive end. So really just an all around team effort from the Thunder Big Three. And major, major props to them for stepping up when they felt that adversity at halftime, losing.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I mean, the Thunder, like you said, Matt, a lot of pressure, especially after that went down. And like I don't want to say they got bailed out or whatever. But I mean, kind of just take a look at the numbers really quick. Um, they only shoot 27% from three. They only shoot 71% from the line. Like that, those things can come back to hurt you, especially they had nine missed free throws, right? And in a game seven in the playoffs, doesn't matter, right? What kind of game it is, you missed nine free throws, like that should come back to bite you, right? And so it's like the what ifs are going to go on forever. I'm like, my heart breaks for the Indiana fans, Matt. It really does. But it's just kind of those things where I mean, even you look at Shea's numbers, 8 of 27 in a closeout game. Yeah, he had 29 points on 11 of 12 from the line, which, honestly, he's so good at getting to the line. And that's just kind of how crafty he is, right? But still go 8 of 27, 2 of 12 from three, right? It's kind of like, man, you just kind of wonder if Tyrese had been there,
Yeah. You play
right?
a little tight in game
A
seven.
little
Like the
tight, and
you
even the
feel it.
MVP, yeah. Um, but nonetheless, they do, come out with the win. Uh, Got to give my props to the Thunder. I mean, they were the best team in the league all year, really. Um, I felt on paper, and Coach Dagnall, hell of a job that he's done. Sam Presti over the years, kind of seeing it all come to fruition, right? His plan of get picks, get picks, get picks, and to see it stockpile into what it has today. Um, and he's kind of in that best of both worlds now, right? Where coming off the championship and he still has what, 4 first round picks or something like that next year. Um, so masterclass from Sam Presti that all kind of finally came together for them. And yeah, like you said, Matt, that defense from the Thunder. I mean, I don't know how many times I need to say it, um, but you get one superstar offensively, and surround them with just defensive, like all these guys, 3 and D, right? Um, that kind of archetype. You see what happens. Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, right? Chet anchoring the paint. Um, then you can look to the bench for any other wings. Jalen Williams is no slouch on defense. Even Shea is no slouch on defense himself, right? Case Wallace had huge minutes throughout this playoffs run for them too. So they're young, talented, well coached, and now they have the experience under their belt too. And I think a little bit different from that Nuggets team that won a couple years ago. Um, it seems like they can just kind of refueling and retooling in the draft, or they got picks to shop, or like they just kind of have this formula now. I think, um, and I don't want to say it's a potential dynasty run, but of all the teams I think currently constructed, right, they have some time to stick together too and like build a core.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it might be a little scary for the rest of the league. Honestly, I'd be a little bit scared. But yeah, kudos to this organization. Kudos to the fans. They definitely deserve it. Um, you know, I'm sure they're stoked. This old Seattle fans should be pretty stoked too. So, um, yeah, it's good for them. I'm happy
Yeah.
for the Thunder and their fans and that organization. So
I know
okay,
one Thunder fan.
yeah, me too.
One Thunder fan.
Yeah,
So
and I've worked with him, and
that's
I haven't
crazy.
seen him yet. It's Brandon, by the way. I haven't seen him yet. Um, but I'm sure he's gonna be super annoying because but you know what? I'm
D-Boy is the Thunder fan that I know, so
okay because you know what though? I'm happy for him because obviously he's a Yankees fan too. So it's like feel for him on that front. And football wise, dude's a Titans fan. So it's like, okay, yeah, you go take,
Cam
yeah,
Ward, Cam Ward.
yeah, okay, I'm bored. But I'm like, yeah, you go take this. But on the other hand, I do have another coworker. Um, his name's Noah. He's actually a Pacers fan, like a real Pacers fan. He's also a Colts fan. I think he was a Colts fan first, and like he's looking for a basketball team, so he kind of like, I'll stay
Stay
in
with
state.
Indiana.
Yeah. So he's like a legit Pacers fan too. But dude is the only Pacers fan I've ever met. I probably will ever meet. But yeah, it's funny because he was kind of downplaying it the whole time, like, oh, we don't have a chance, we don't have a chance. And then it's like they win game six. It's like, oh my gosh, maybe game seven. Didn't get a chance to talk to him today. I figured it was kind of raw. So, I'll go check in on seeing how he's doing tomorrow. But
He might be
uh
calling out sick a couple of days.
yeah, I mean, honestly, when you're that diehard and you get that close, it's painful, right?
When you get
Mentally
that
painful.
close and your face of the franchise gets hurt like that, what could be worse than that?
Long term injury too.
That's like Dodgers get to the World Series Game 7 and Shohei like
Like,
gets
yeah,
Tommy John or something.
knock on wood, knock on wood.
Like
But yeah, that
that's the
you're right.
equivalent.
Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. Like, it's like the worst of both worlds, right? Not only do you lose the finals, but now next year's screwed too, right? So, but I mean, Matt, the East next year, and we don't got to talk about it tonight, but that's three All Star positions open now in the East. Like Tatum, um, Dame, and now
Dame.
Tyrese are all out. It's like we're going to see some crazy names, I think, in the Eastern All Star voting next year. So, um, yeah, crazy, crazy injuries. But yeah, feel for the Pacers. Happy for the Thunder's fans. Just hope it doesn't turn into a dynasty. But
I don't think you have to worry about that, to be honest. Like the Thunder are the best, I would say, best equipped in like those teams that have won a championship recently to have long term success. But look at the trajectory of the NBA. There's seven different champions in the past 7 years,
mhm.
and literally every year, there's always this talk. Oh, like is this team going to be a dynasty? Blah 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 blah. Like we have this conversation every year, but you never know. Look at the
Mhm.
Celtics. We all thought, oh, the Celtics, man, they got their core locked up. They're going to be good for the next 4 or 5 years. And then look, this year, yeah, they had a great regular season, but they come up short. Jason Tatum gets hurt. We'll talk about a trade that went down a little bit later,
Mhm.
affecting their team. So there's just all these things that can just happen so fast. And I think you as a Lakers fan can relate. You got Lakers 2020 champs, like, oh, they're set up, they got the core, and then GMs do some things, injuries, Anthony Davis. So you just never know. You just never know. So I can't say they're gonna be a dynasty, but they are probably best equipped because of age and assets. So that kind of helps, I
That
will
definitely
say.
helps, especially in today's NBA. Um, but yeah,
Paul George, man.
what a season! Who would have thought
Thank you, Paul George.
yeah,
Yes.
the trajectory of that, um, how that shaped the Thunder, Matt.
And
Um,
the Pacers.
and even at that time, honestly, because I was you kind of seen glimpses of Shea as a rookie. I saw that and I was like, dang, they're giving up Shea and all these picks to go get Paul George. Okay. But I mean, honestly, I mean, yeah, I guess I can kind of see it. Um, but this is also, like I love me some Indiana Paul George. Then he went to the Thunder, and then Dame hit the shot on him. And then he went to the. It's
That's
like
the guy that Hey, Thunder fans should thank Damian Lillard for hitting the
actually that's
Dame time
true.
shot
That's
because
true.
that broke up the team.
Uh huh. You're right, 100%. So yeah. Yeah, go send Dame a thank you card. Actually, that's a good butterfly effect one right there. Um, but yeah, Matt. I don't know if I had anything else. Oh, I wonder what was Pascal doing in Game Six? Did dude get possessed or something? Like I don't know what that was, but what I think he got asked about it after, and he's just like, "Yeah, I was just sometimes when I close my eyes and visualize the moment, I don't close my eyes all the way or something." I was like, "Bro, that couldn't have been
But
at a
that's just straight
worse
up.
time." Yeah, like couldn't have been at a worse time. And he goes on to have a crazy game with the poster on Jalen Williams, but um yeah, that image is gonna live in NBA Twitter forever. Like that one's gonna go up
That's a
in
meme.
the ranks.
Yeah.
Yep. So um I think yeah, shout out to most of the guys. I mean TJ McConnell almost had himself a legacy series too. Feel for him, really gave uh his heart left his heart on the floor. Happy for Caruso, former Laker. So yeah, I mean I'd say
Yeah. It'll be interesting though how Indiana responds next year because obviously
oof, they
Tyrese is
might be
not going to
cooked.
be
Yeah, they might be in
like, are they
danger.
gonna they just tank the season and then you get a good lottery pick to pair with Tyrese when he comes back from injury? Like, like the trade Siakam, like
Yeah, they got
let Turner walk.
I
Like
think
I think
Indiana has a lot of questions that they're gonna have to figure out what is the game plan moving forward. Um, I think they have, like you said, some expiring contracts probably. Um, and by the time Tyrese comes back in, the year after next, what is that team going to look like? Is Rick Carlisle still going to be there? A lot of questions. Just so tragic for Pacers fans,
yeah.
man. I really do feel for them. But yeah, congrats once again to the Thunder. I think that'll pretty much wrap my finals talk, Matt, unless you had
I
anything
think so.
else. Okay.
No, I think we hit it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
well,
That's the end of the NBA
that's
season.
the end of the NBA season, guys. And that will do it pretty much for any 2024 2025 season stuff. But of course, uh the NBA season officially ended yesterday, and we already have breaking news from Shams. I mean, he said it, right? That Shams said it was going to be a crazy NBA offseason, right? Um and here we go already, right? Um we'll start with the obvious, big trade in KD going to the Rockets for. I mean, I couldn't believe the haul. If I'm Phoenix, like I'm sorry, that should be malpractice. This is just my opinion, right? But you're training Kevin Durant, who still, even at his current age, still, in my opinion, like a top 10 player in the league, right? Still a bucket at any time. And you're going to give up, or all you're going to get in return is Jalen Green, who, okay, upside for superstar potential, but keyword upside. I think we saw it in these playoffs how inconsistent he can be and look. Dylan Brooks, who, I mean, I would assume they're probably just going to flip. Um, and then 5 second round picks. Like,
Hey, they got the 14th pick right in this
okay,
year's on
okay,
Wednesday's
they
draft.
got one first
One
round pick.
first rounder.
I don't really understand if you're Phoenix, what what do you gain out of doing that? Right? You already have Devin Booker. You're stuck with Bradley Beal, and now you go and add Jalen Green, who is just, in my opinion, a shorter, maybe more athletic, but can't be as consistent like KD. I mean, Dylan Brooks is a nice piece, like defensively. Yeah, he brings some attitude and some grit, maybe. Okay, maybe you try to hold on to him. I don't know, but Jalen Green to pair with an already crowded backcourt, I don't understand, Matt, that perspective from the Suns.
Here's what I don't understand too. So I kind of foreshadowed, I would say, KD going to the Rockets to some degree. Like it was like okay, they're kind of leaking it, even during the season. But like you said, we saw, was it a couple weeks ago, maybe Desmond Bain gets traded from the Grizzlies, 4 first round picks
For
given
Desmond
up by the
Bain.
Magic for Desmond Bain and Kevin Durant, a first ballot Hall of Desmond Bain's a great player, by the way. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer like
Mm-mm.
Kevin Durant. And yes, Kevin Durant is 36, but statistically, Kevin Durant is it's like he's aging like fine wine right now with how his numbers look. He numbers wise, he's actually better now than he was MVP Thunder years. Like it's crazy how consistent and how evolved he is as a player. And somehow you it takes 1 first round pick. Like, I don't get it. Personally, if I was the Suns, I would have been asking for Amen Thompson
Thompson for
or
sure. How do you not get
or
Thompson? I can't get
or
over that.
Shengun. Like you have to get
Mm-hmm.
one or the other. Not both. Like that's okay. I get it. But how do you not get one of Amen Thompson or Shengun?
Or Jabari
Like,
Smith or
yeah, Jabari Smith.
Tari
Like,
Eason or I mean all the wings that they got. And you
I
just
just
Dylan Brooks,
Fred Van Fleet. Like even Fred Van Fleet for all. Like, yeah,
point guard. But I mean, I think Phoenix has needed a true point guard anyway.
exactly. That's why. So it's a need
You saw
thing.
what they did with Chris Paul, right? With Book and Chris Paul. You put
Like, wouldn't you rather have
malpractice.
Van Fleet versus like the contract thing, right? So you're trying to match the salaries. Why do you want Dylan Brooks versus Fred Van Fleet? You don't have a point guard. You already learned that Devin Booker is better as a two guard, which is his natural position. But yeah, let me go bring Dylan Brooks, who's a wing. Let me go bring Jalen Green in, who's a two guard. I already have Bradley Beal. You look how that turned out. So it's like they have a log jam of, twos and threes and nothing else. Like you guys could have had a center, all potential all NBA center in Shengun. You could have had Amen Thompson, who could be an all star probably next year. Just mind boggling to me. Mind boggling that they didn't get Shengun or Amen Thompson, one or the other.
Yeah. And I
Jalen
think
Green, like I knew that one. He was gone.
I
After the
would,
way he played, he was gone.
yeah. And I would imagine if you're Phoenix, hopefully, I mean, they shouldn't be done, right? Sure, the roster is not anywhere close to being completed,
They're gonna play
but
5 out with 5
I
rings.
I mean, shoot, that would be insane. But
It's like the
um
Rockets with a PJ Tucker at center, right? With
yeah,
six.
or I mean, or like Boston last year, right? When they would go small.
Yeah, but
Um
Al Horford, he's six, at least a little bulky down
no,
there.
yeah, that's true.
Tatum
But
is 6'10".
yeah, 6'10
I
doesn't
don't get it.
doesn't drive to the rim. Anyway, I just
Got to
don't
take the one shot at Tatum before the pod ends.
hey, I'm just saying. But yeah, Phoenix. So that's how I feel about Phoenix. Like, really not going to get more of a return on that. And I don't know how they're going to deal with Beal's contract. Like, it doesn't sound like anyone wants to touch that contract at all. So good luck. But on the other hand, Houston now, that's a scary team. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we forget the Rockets. They go out, they win their first round matchup, right? Um, and then they go up against the Warriors in the second round. And oh wait, no,
No, they
no,
played Warriors first round.
yeah, sorry, I'm thinking the other way. But they play the Warriors in the first round, right? And you see the inconsistency, um, that that young Houston team had. Fred Van Vliet was the best player in that series for them, right? Like he showed up, he had huge games. Um, Jalen Green in one out of their, I think, two wins, right? He has a monster game, and I think it was that game two, right? And then he vanishes. I think he had like 30 something, right? In one of those home games, and he was nowhere to be seen the rest of the series, right?
He
And
scored under
so
10 points in like 4 games.
yeah, and now you take away, that inconsistency. And don't get me wrong, Dylan Brooks, great player, defensively, he's tough, he's gritty, but I mean, you swap out now Jalen Green for Kevin Durant, where now you got to worry about KD as the first option. You put too much attention on him. Fred Van Vliet's still gonna kill you from outside, right? And you would imagine Amin Thompson takes another leap, right? And improves his game. And don't forget about Şengün, who was an all-star, right? So exactly like them paired with Ime Udoka too, who has done a great job with this young roster. Bring in, like you said, a first ballot Hall of Famer. The Houston Rockets are a legit terrifying team, I think, out west. Already were the second seed. Now you add in Kevin Durant and what he's good, still going to give you 26, 27 on a nightly basis, right? You pair him with that squad now, who's young and hungry and talented defensively, and they got veteran presence and they got athleticism. That's a scary team. I think should be one of the favorites to win it all next year. Um,
Yep. And I like that they got Steven Adams back too. So they got, that double big action that they can go with. Like that's a that's a problem. And the Warriors struggled with that. So they find success with Şengün being able to, I don't want to say shoot the three, but at least kind of, hit
he can
mid-range
space it out a little
jumpers.
bit,
Yeah.
yeah. But now you got to worry about Kevin Durant in that mix. Ooh, boy, that is gonna be a
Yep.
scary matchup for anyone in a 7 game series, I think.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And what was the thing that Houston struggled with against the Warriors? Like what was their Achilles heel? It was like when their offense breaks down, they just never had that guy to just say, "Hey, like give me the ball. Like I got this." Now they have that. if if all else fails, oh no, we can't get into our set. Nothing but 4 seconds, 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
yeah, they have
Hey, let's just give it to Kevin Durant and
one
yeah,
of the best
the
scorers
best
in league
ISO scorer
history.
and yeah.
Yeah, can shoot over anyone. Yeah. So Houston, they're gonna be a scary team, Matt. I don't know. I just know Rob and the new ownership group better get on their horse and start cooking because as of right now, the West ain't getting any easier. I'll say that for sure. Um,
Yeah, maybe the new ownership should pay all their attention to the Lakers and just say, "Oh, the Dodgers, they got it. Let's shift all our attention to the Lakers and
I mean, shoot,
help that team."
that honestly might happen, unfortunately. But how about let's wait till after the trade deadline and then we can kind of figure things out from there. We'll be a little more hands off. Um, but
Ooh, the
yeah,
West is going to be a bloodbath
yeah,
again next
the
year.
West is gonna be crazy. Um, there's another trade that happened today. Interesting, interesting trade. Um, so Shams tweets today that Anthony Simons is going to the Boston Celtics for Drew Holiday. And I mean, I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, um, I'm guessing Boston needed to dump salary or wanted to dump salary. Is this a tank year for them? Like, Boston is a curious one to me, right? Because you pay Jalen Green the big, or Jalen, Jalen Brown, too many Jalen's, bro. Pay Jalen Brown the big money, right? You would expect him to step up and be that number one option, right? Without Jason Tatum. Now I think we'll get to see how good, Jalen Brown really is as, the Batman necessarily. Not like he's Robin, but now it's only you, right? You're the superstar. Time to see you're the finals MVP, time to see what you can do and carry this franchise. So they load up, and I mean, Drew aging a little bit, had a little bit of a down year statistically, but still one of my favorite players in the league, right? The savviness, he's crafty, can shoot the three, obviously know what kind of defender he is. And swap him out for Anthony Simons, who I still think has a lot of potential, right? Has, potential to be an all-star, I think. He has that kind of scoring mentality, um, able to get really hot, but I don't know, just peculiar, right? Because are you saying you value, was it a money thing? Was it just a salary dump? Or is it about you think Anthony Simons gives you a better chance to win than Drew Holiday? I don't know if I buy into that one. So it's like, is Boston rebuilding question mark? Um, I don't really know how to justify it from Boston's standpoint, other than it's a salary dump, right?
Yeah, I don't understand it from both sides.
No, yeah, both. I was getting to the
Like
Blazers. I don't get it either.
okay, Boston, like the only thing I can think of is well, Tatum's out, right? So are they trying to like get more scoring? Like Joe Mazzulla, likes to, bomb threes and, just I don't want to say run and gun, but it's like, they shoot a lot of threes, they want to outscore you to some degree. And Simons at this stage of, Drew Holiday's career, probably a better offensive option, but we've seen Ant Simons play, hometown team with the Blazers. Not really known for defense, I would say. So like I don't understand that. I feel like Boston that Derek White is still there. Peyton Pritchard is the sixth man of the year. I mean, his forte is, you know, scoring. You still got Jalen Brown. I don't know what Porzingis or Horford, but they technically still have guys to score. So I'm just a little confused why you would flip him to for
But
Drew.
I
And also, what are the Blazers?
I
What
don't
are you
know.
guys doing?
I don't know.
What are you guys doing?
No idea. Are they flipping Drew again? That's literally the only thing I can think
Yeah,
of.
but remember the first time they flipped Drew to the Celtics? Like, what did we even get back? Robert Williams? And
Yeah,
like, I don't. What are they
because
doing?
that was the Dame to Milwaukee trade too, right?
Yeah, but it's like now if you only got that for Drew Holiday back then, he's obviously a little older. Still a good player, but you could have got a better haul for him the last time. Like now, what are we gonna get for him now?
Yeah,
So,
I
and you
yeah,
traded away Ant
confusing.
Simons. So, like, what are we? Are they 100% sold on Scoot Henderson being
Scoot and Shaden,
the
maybe
guy?
is that the
Like,
backcourt?
like I don't know. I don't know. And I thought Ant Simons is like even Dame kind of took Anthony Simons like that was his little brother, kind of like he was
Hmm.
training him to be that next guy. And I think they had a little run together because CJ got traded. So it was Dame and Ant for what was it, like a year, 2
Yeah,
years? So I just kind of question what we're doing here from a Blazers fan's perspective. So I would say overall not a good trade for
no,
both sides.
yeah, not a great trade. I like it for Boston way more, I'll say. Because I mean, Drew's getting a little bit older. You do need to, I think you need to sacrifice defense for offense and what you're going to be missing for Jason Tatum. And Ant's on an expiring contract, so it's like you really only need him for like a 1 year rental thing until Tatum comes back.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a it works out better for Boston, I think. Although it sucks losing Drew Holiday, but if you can get a guy like Anthony Simons in return, I mean, kudos to you. But exactly, the Blazers. Are we win now? Are we confident? Like we're gonna build a team to compete with, the Thunder. We're gonna compete with Dallas and Minnesota, Golden State, now Houston, right? And we're confident that adding Drew Holiday to Denny Advia and uh what's his name?
Lincoln.
Tumani
Oh,
Kamara's the all defensive guy. Klingon, I mean, I'm a whatever on Klingon, but Shaden Sharp and Scoot Henderson plus Drew Holiday is gonna turn us into a championship level contender. Like what is that move there? Um, I don't think it's a very good look for Portland, to be honest. Um, but
well, we can just suck until the rest of the West plateaus.
I guess
Like,
I really don't even know uh what the thinking is there. But I guess we'll see. Like we
yeah,
said,
but the
it's going to
Blazers,
be a crazy
they're
offseason.
dumb. Like, I think they have to take a picture out of the Thunder's playbook. Like, you're a small market team. You can't be the Lakers or the Knicks or Celtics and just draw in all these free agents because of your market. Like, the only reason why we're good is if you get a home run on your draft pick, like a Dame Lillard or a Clyde Drexler, Bill Walton. Like, you have to hit home runs in the draft for the Blazers. So why not just get as much draft capital as you can and just almost pray that you guys can at least make one good draft pick and not pass up on Kevin Durant or, something like that. So I think that's the playbook they need to take as a franchise right now because I don't think any of the players they have is like, well, that he's going to be an MVP in the league or he's going to be a future all-star. Like I just don't see anybody on the roster that can be at that level. They got nice pieces, but
Yeah,
you still need that superstar. You need that next Damian Lillard that's going to want to stay with the Blazers for the next 10, 15 years of his career.
yeah. Um, well, I don't get it. But at least if there's any indication of how its free agency has started, it'll be a fun offseason.
Oh, yeah.
So lots of trades, lots of free agents going everywhere. I fully expect the Lakers, by the way, to look completely, not completely, but fairly different, especially with the new ownership group, with the Dodgers coming in. And the reason I'm excited, first of all, I can't believe the Bus family sold. I get it's a lot of money, but I can't believe they got to that point where they would be willing to sell. I know Jeannie's going to stay on in her current position or whatever, but um, the one thing I said about the Dodgers, like how they treat their players, their player development, the culture they establish, winning wise at least, right? Like, really happy to see hopefully that professional success correlate to the Lakers side as well, right? So it'll be interesting. I do think they're not going to be afraid to spend money. That's for sure. But yeah, it'll be a fun off season, and I think the Lakers are going to look fairly different. Just to get it big, I see Bam is linked to us a lot. I wouldn't mind Bam, but you know,
What do you
to me
give
more than
up?
what do you give up? And more than anything, like Luca just has to get in better shape defensively. Period. To for us to have a better shot, or you got to surround him with four. Like if there were four Amin Thompsons and one Luka Doncic, I think that'd be pretty cool. So um yeah, it'll be a fun off season, I think for sure. Um for the NBA. But that's all the trades I got for now, Matt. All the basketball stuff I have for now. So if you want, we can just get into a little bit of baseball before we wrap the final.
Ooh, okay. So, well, this is the I guess, last time I can vent about the
No, you can have one
Yankees.
more. You can have one more.
Well, it's not looking pretty. I'll say this. Kind of ironic that we were playing so well. We lost a series to the Dodgers, but they come back, they bounce back, they sweep Kansas City. I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's looking good. We take the first game against Boston, and then literally from there, it's just been awful, literally awful. Remember, like a couple weeks or end of May, I was like, wow, it's really impressive that the Yankees have 6.5 game lead at this point of the season. That's terrific. It got down all the way to 1.5 games at one point. That's how fast it turned. It's two because we lost today, so the Rays didn't play, but 2 game lead now. Like the Rays are trending up, the Yankees are trending down. Like I don't like it. And it to be honest, it's not the pitching. I thought the pitching has been for the most part pretty good. It's the offense. It's like what is going on, guys? Like we couldn't score a run for like 3 games. Today 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Like that is just terrible. Terrible. Like Aaron Judge hits a home run. That's the only run we scored. So I just don't understand what's going on, and it just seems to be a trend with the Yankees now in the Boone era. Like the last 3 or 4 years, we get off to these like blistering hot starts in the first couple months, and then in June and July, it is just like, oh my gosh, it is the most painful time to be a Yankees fan. Like I think my least favorite player on the team right now is Anthony Volpe. He drives me insane.
Oof, he's been having a rough go of
Oh
it
my gosh. Like it is like I don't
offensively, defensively too, which I mean, Gold Glove winner.
like I just really it's so frustrating because it just from watching the games, he is the guy that is up. I swear, he's always up in a critical situation with like multiple runners on every single time. It's always him. And he always gets out, whether it's no outs, 1 out, 2 outs. Like, can you just for once just get a hit? Like he it's just how many times has he been put? He's always finding his way into that critical at bat where he can make a difference with one swing. Not even just a home. Don't even hit a home run. Just a hit, a base hit would do the job. And that's the thing that's so frustrating. It's like some of his bats, a pitcher is wild, 2 guys in front of him, they walk, and he comes out, he swings at the first pitch and pops up. It's like, bro, like what are you doing? Like, do you have any sense of IQ or feel for the game? And it's just a roller coaster with Anthony Volpe. It's like sometimes it's like, man, I think he figured it out. Like he's playing well. Not all-star level, but he's playing well. Like, we can live with this. And then there's times like this where it's just like, how is he not in AAA right now? Like it's bad. So I really don't know what there is right now to do. Like the offense just literally needs to just pick it up. Like we have everybody healthy. Like I don't know what's going on. Um, Certain guys are playing well, but it's just not gelling right now. So, like I said, end of July, let's go make that splash. Like you got to get pitchers, a reliever, I think, and a third baseman. We need a third baseman because I would like to see Jazz Chisholm back at second. Um, DJ LeMahieu not cutting it for me. I think it's time. Like, and I give credit to the Dodgers too. Like, you guys have Chris Taylor, Austin Barnes, guys that have been with your team for a long time, been
Mm.
critical parts to championship runs. But it's a new year every year, and they said, heck, we think we have guys, in our minor league system or somebody else that can contribute better right now to winning. And they're not afraid to cut bait. Why are we not afraid to cut bait when there's years of like downward play and just lack of production? So I just don't understand that from the Yankees perspective. So I'm just praying that they can make a splash at the trade deadline because they need some juice in this team because something's not clicking offensively. So we need that bat that'll revitalize everybody.
Mm.
And it kind of just sucks that Aaron Judge is kind of in a slump. I guess you could call it a slump, but that just shows how good he is and how kind of sad our the rest of our team is. Like, do we really need Aaron Judge to hit 400 for us to be a competitive team? Like, I really hope not. Like, that's not sustainable. So Bellinger, Stanton, Dominguez, everybody, literally everybody else needs to step up. So I will say though, one positive note: Devin Williams has been pitching a lot better. Um, so it looks like he's kind of taken the closer job back from Luke Weaver, partially because of injury. But hey, just keep going, Devin. Keep going. You're doing great right now. Let's ride this wave. So that's a good thing. But I'm a little worried now that our division lead is down to 2, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
6.5 like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Um, well, it's only June, so still got a lot of time. Still got the trade deadline. I'm sure knowing Brian Cashman, he'll make a good decision and really be buyers and um knowing Brian
Yep.
Cashman, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I just can almost picture it right now. He's gonna call the Pirates and say, "You know what? Hey, we
we'll give
just
you the
got
farm for
Andrew
fall schemes.
Heaney, we just got Andrew Heaney and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. We did it. We got pitching and a bat. Yay!" Like,
That'd be hilarious if IKF goes back to the Yankees, but I could definitely see it happening. It's like everyone's making these big splashy trades, and here you go,
like,
grab someone from the Marlins or the Rockies or something.
I don't mind, like, those like small trades. Like, sometimes those are the good trades
Yeah.
that you need to make.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But you don't make it with guys that played in the Bronx on your team before and failed. Like, I don't need that. Now, if there was one guy, I'm just saying, I don't think they're going to trade him, but it's like, what if Gleyber Torres, there was some kind of magical scenario that he would come
Mm,
back? That's the one guy. Like, he drives
that's
me
shocking.
insane. It's not going to happen, but it's more of like him being able to play in New York. Like, he makes errors, but it's not like he was like, oh, like the pressure just kind of got to him. Like,
That's fair.
he can handle playing in New York. He's proven that, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
IKF, no, no. That's just that's why he's doing well in Pittsburgh. No pressure. Just play
Mm,
free. And that might be great for his career, honestly. Like, just do that.
yeah, I
Get
think
your
he's
bag.
hitting like 280. Not bad.
Yeah, and you can get traded, just not to a big market team. That's all. But yeah, I just do not want to see that on my phone late July. That would literally devastate me.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
season's not over. Got a lot of time.
Yeah.
Um, but okay. Well, let me get to my Dodgers because the Dodgers have been pretty interesting past several weeks. We kind of had that gauntlet run for a month of playing really good teams, and honestly, didn't do too bad. Came out of it. We have a 3.5 game lead in the NL West, so nothing to really complain about there. Giant series, that was a good win in that series, but man, I don't think there's any doubt right now that as much as there's history with Yankees, Red Sox, and all these other rivalries, Padres Dodgers right now is must watch baseball. And I gotta say, I'm stoked because I'm going up in August to watch Padres Dodgers at
Oh,
Dodger
you are?
Stadium. Yeah. So I'm stoked. It's gonna be the Saturday night game
For your
of a
birthday?
3 game split. No, it's just before my birthday. But yeah, 3 game split, so it'll be the second game. Saturday night. I don't know who's the projected pitcher yet, but I'm like, oh my God, if we
Get
happen to
away.
land on a Shohei day, I'm gonna cry. Like that'd be so perfect. I mean, I don't care honestly either way. Whoever's on the mound, even if it's, I mean, even if it is a pen game, like just the intensity now between the two teams is gonna be so crazy. Um, so I'm looking forward to going up and
You're into
watching
one
it.
game?
Just one, yeah.
You
Um,
should have went to all three.
yeah, I know, but it is. I'm going with my family, so
Uh,
uh,
oh, is
yeah.
Wade's going to?
No, he's not going.
Oh.
He refused, but yeah, the rest of us are going up, so it'll be fun. I know I was thinking about. I was like, man, maybe I should have just booked the whole series, but it's okay regardless. Get to be there. You know what? I'm sure it'll be intense feeling because they hate each other right now, especially this past series. Um, I mean, Tatis getting hit, Shohei getting hit, the two managers now beefing, and I
That
know
was the funniest
who
one.
I don't think, yeah, they can't wait to get a chance at each other again. I am positive about that. Um, but I just gotta say, like, obviously, Dodgers fan here, right? But to me, the ones that kind of put it over the top, and it's like, yeah, okay, respect the game and whatever. You hit our guy, we're gonna hit your guy. Fine, whatever, so be it, right? But to me, if you kind of just look at it objectively, the last time Tatis got hit, and I know he's mad, and I know the Padres are upset, and right, okay, we shouldn't have hit him, but I don't think that was on purpose. The last one, right? Um, the guy that hit Tatis, that was literally his MLB debut, right? Poor kid is probably just nervous as it is. And now he's coming into this intense, rivalry. And throughout the game, like both sides are just barking at each other, blah, blah, blah. So he's probably nervous and he has a fastball with arm side run. And lo and behold, they call it an inside fastball, and you can see it just tail right into Tatis. Falls down on the ground, right? Like stays there for 10 minutes or whatever. I don't know how long it was, but you know, to me, then you go back and you're gonna drill Shohei for that, right? 3-0, 100 to the upper back. Like, what are we doing now? And Shohei, being the dude that he is, waves off the Dodgers, plays
The
peacemaker,
Japanese way.
and like he has some fire in him. There's no doubt. There have been moments you see it come out, right? He can be a little petty if he wants. He can be intense if he wants, but I think even he recognized the situation. And it's like, guys, it's not worth it anymore. But honestly, aren't if you're a Padres guy, like, isn't that a little more annoying, right? Where it's like, "Ha, we got you," and here you are, like, "Oh, it's okay, no worries, guys," and you're just like, "What?" Right? Because you're doing that to kind of retaliate and stuff like that. But um, he goes over, he's like talking story with Iglesias and like joking around with him, and yeah, I just think it's a ridiculous um how far this rivalry's gotten. But I'm sure we will see multiple ejections. And I like you said, I want to see Dave and Schilt just like go at it. Because they bumped. Dave gave
Did
Doc
you
gave
see
him a little.
The John Boy
I
breakdown?
didn't see that. I didn't get to see that breakdown yet. But I mean, um, that whole series was just insane. So I'm looking forward to it. Um, but baseball wise, can't really complain too much. Shohei, like we said, coming back as a pitcher now, the stuff looks good, like really good. So I'm not really concerned about that. The only question is, how is his body going to adjust? How is his hitting going to fall off again to what it looked like, before he was a full time DH, right? Because obviously before he could hit 40 home runs and hit like 280 ish around there. Um, But are we going to go back to that, or is he going to be more of that 300 level hitter with 50 home runs? So I guess we'll see. Um, but either way, like not too worried or anything about this Dodgers team. We're gonna go through our slumps and whatnot, but I'll say it one more time on this pod. This team this year, like they don't quit down however many, right? Even in that game Shohei gets drilled, they have a chance to come back and win that game. Like this team will never quit, and I think that's really encouraging to see. Uh and I think the one stat that's a key stat for this team, they lead the league in average with runners in scoring position, which I think is going to be a defining trait for them, um, and hopefully lead us to more playoff success. So, um, I mean, Kershaw somehow is holding it down. The old man is keeping the starting rotation afloat. Um, and yeah, just looking forward to the return of Glass now, the return of Snell. Roki sounds like he's going to be out for a minute, but to see this roster in full force, um, and like the starting lineup in full force, which I'll just say on the record again, I think should be Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Smith, Teo, Muncy, Pajes, Edmund, Kim, in whatever order you want to go in. But I think that no doubt should be the roster moving forward. At least that starting nine, and you can have Miggy Rowe, you can have Rushing, you can have Kike and Conforto come in off the bench. Like I think that's a pretty solid team. So, yeah, not too worried about that one, but looking not bad for as much of a tough June or end of May, June it was going to be. To come out of it with a 3.5 game lead in the NL West, like I'm pretty happy, and we get to go to Colorado now, as a reward for going through the gauntlet. So I know Colorado's been winning a little bit more, but hey, Dodgers, we better take care of business. Let's not play with our food, and go out there and crush some baseballs in Colorado. So it will definitely be hopefully a good series and a good rest of the year. Probably maybe somewhat shoppers at the deadline, like very maybe a pen piece here and there. But I think it'll be interesting, even if we're not as big buyers as we were last year at the deadline. Um, yeah, still really confident in this team. So,
As long as you guys don't get Paul Skeens, it's all good.
man, if we get Paul Skeens, I would even feel a little bit bad, like just a little bit, but I would definitely feel a little bit bad. But yeah, okay. Um, Other than that, Matt, I think that's all I got. That might be
Oh,
it.
so is this our final? This is the final quick hitters.
Yeah, final quick hitters, and I think it's time to wrap the season 4 finale.
Crazy.
Crazy.
The final Jerry Jones Award. In spirit of the NBA Finals finishing, we'll keep it in the NBA realm, but it has to go to the Phoenix Suns. I'm sorry. Kevin Durant, that trade, I just can't wrap my head around it. And I looked at, you kind of go back and play like, the trickle down effect. But somehow they had a finals team that had Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder. They had 4 first round picks and they swapped it into Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and a 1st round pick. Masterclass of a disaster right there. So
Crazy.
yeah, that's not a good look, especially when what was it, 4 years ago the Suns were in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
We all thought had a nice core, and they are in bad shape right now.
Yeah.
So they are so lucky Devin Booker wants to stay and be loyal
Yeah.
because he could easily just walk out right now.
I agree. I don't know what happened to Phoenix. Like them so much, but yeah. Okay. Well, let me get to my last fan tribute then obviously has to go to you guys, the fans and fanatics out there, whichever one you may choose to be. There's not a ton of us, but hey, you know what? I appreciate all of you guys that have tuned in for even one episode, one clip, one view, whatever it was. Uh, Supported us throughout the way. Me and Matt never did this for views anyway. We never did it to blow up. Um, we promised ourselves we'd never compromise, you know, our sports integrity for to rage bait people or to have just say controversial opinions just for clicks and views. Like we were never going to do that. So I hope you, at least you guys were able to appreciate some genuine sports talk between two guys that love sports. Um, might not be experts in every single field that we talk in, but I think that's how you know it's genuine between us, right? That's just our opinions. We're giving it to you. And yeah, we appreciate all the support you guys have given us over the past 4 years. Crazy to say now, it's already been 4 years we've been doing this. Gonna take probably an extended break from at least the podcast stuff. I think Matt and I still have some stuff we need to figure out moving forward. But yeah, this last my last tribute is to all you guys out there that have tuned in and gave us any kind of support. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking around. So that's my last
Love that.
fan
That's
tribute.
a heartwarming fan tribute right there. But then last but not least, right? The last sports
Oof, the
fact
last
of the
sports
day.
fact.
June 23rd, we are recording. I'm gonna go and stay in the NBA because we're talking about the NBA finals. But in 2005, the San Antonio Spurs beat the Detroit Pistons in 7 games, by the way, to win their third championship, led by Mr. Big Fundamental, Tim Duncan, his third MVP award, finals MVP award. Insane. The best power forward in the history of the NBA. No
Mm,
debate there. But that's it. That's the last sports fact, man. San
okay,
Antonio,
cool.
one of the last, or I guess you could say recent game sevens, you could say, in the NBA finals. I think that one, Lakers, Celtics, Cleveland, Golden State,
Hmm.
and yesterday. So what? That was 4 game sevens ago. So crazy.
Crazy. Yep,
It's
crazy
rare.
stuff.
It's rare in the NBA. But
Yeah.
that is it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, that's a wrap.
sounds good. Yeah, I guess that's a
It's a
wrap.
wrap. It's a wrap.
Um, yeah, so that'll be this is our last podcast style episode, I guess if you want to call it that. Um, I'm not gonna say it's forever, personally. Like I would one day, hey, maybe it's not this year, maybe it's not next year. Who knows when it's gonna be again? But we're definitely gonna take an extended break, that's for sure, from doing this. As much as we love it, it can be a little bit of a grind to do this every week for 40 something weeks out of the year. But I mean it's we love talking about sports and that stuff, but we just got some other stuff we want to try to pursue outside of our regular responsibilities, obviously. But yeah, so I think maybe the Fan and Fanatic like socials will stay active. We'll see what we want to do. Maybe an occasional stream thing if we can figure something out for like big events, maybe World Series game or the Super Bowl or finals or you know the draft. Any of these big things, maybe we'll figure something out where it's kind of more free flowed and stuff like that. Like I said, we gotta figure it out. Um, but yeah, Matt, I think it will be posting something on Instagram for the future or our final stream for this year. Um, he's working on the awards for season 4. That's always fun. Definitely maybe our least amount of guests we had this year. I think everyone's just busy, honestly. I don't blame it. We're getting old, bro. Like we all got stuff to do, like outside of work, right? So
Yep.
um yeah, I
COVID's in the
mean,
past now. Everybody's not at home all the time.
yeah, exactly. Like we're kind of back to normal now, so a little bit harder to get some stuff there, Matt. But at least for me, won't this won't be the final send off, but on a final podcast note from me, yeah, just thank you again, everyone, for all the support. Matt, you're the best. Like couldn't have been a fan and fanatic without my fanatic there with me. So all the stuff you did behind the scenes, getting us together, the social media stuff, the notes and everything before the episode. Appreciate you for doing all that stuff. Coming up with ideas, you know, really helped anchor us in the show. So it was always fun. But yeah, I think for now it's for me at least, it's time to take a little bit of a break. Got some other stuff I need to solidify, and then shoot, I'd love to come back and do this again one day. But yeah,
Yeah,
until then, that's kind of my final sign off. So
it's a bittersweet, I think, for
yeah,
me. I can't believe it was 4 years
crazy.
of like, and it's not like we were like, we had the breaks in the summer, but it's not like we were like half-assing, like, we'll do an episode, a month, and then we'll come back like a month
Yeah.
or 2 months later, we'll do an episode here. Like we did it every week,
Mm-hmm.
a weekly thing. We committed to it, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. So it's like this is like right up my alley too. And it's like I'm a sports guy, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like I've always wanted to just talk about sports. Like even amongst my friends, like a lot of people they'll side, baseball, or they'll side with football, or they'll do college football or high school sports. Like it's just they're interested in that field. But me and you, it's just like we know it all,
At least
like
we
it
got
just
the hey,
it
it's the
we
big
know it
three.
all.
We don't do the soccer or
We know
hockey,
it all.
sorry.
No,
But
like who the hell watches
hey.
that anyway, right? In America. But but like that's always what I wanted to do. Just
Mm-hmm.
talk shop, with a buddy and in a sense just be myself. And without you, I wouldn't be able to do that. So it's been a heck of a 4 years. And I don't know, it's kind of sad too at the same
It
time.
is
It's like,
sad.
man,
I
what am I
am
gonna do on
sad.
Monday? What am I gonna do on Mondays now? Like
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is sad. I'm definitely gonna miss talking to you about sports, and that's all it really started with, right? Like
yeah,
we just wanted to do this, during COVID. We didn't know what we were doing. Honestly, we still
yeah,
don't even know what we're doing. Let's be honest. But
yeah.
the one thing that was consistent, like you said, Matt, was getting to talk sports with you every week. Um, yeah, it is sad that we can't do this at the moment. But that's why you know what? Nothing's definite nowadays, right? Like who knows? But I think at least for me, I'm gonna get my shit in order, right? I'm a focus on what I need to do first, and I keep saying, this won't be the end. I'll go out and say it. I don't know when we'll be back, but I'm confident one day in the future we will return to doing this. So maybe this is more of a see you guys later. You know what I'm saying? It won't be a goodbye. I'm gonna call it a see you later. Um, in whatever capacity it is, I think we'll stick around for a little bit longer. Um, and I'd love, hey, maybe it's 10 years, maybe it's 20 years, maybe it's when we're retired. And it's like, all right, Matt, what we gonna do now? Like, guess we gotta talk about sports. So
Bro, we gotta learn
we
how to still
restart.
use technology,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm okay. We won't be those kind of like old dudes that have like don't know how to work whatever stuff they got in 40 years. But hey, even if it's 40 years from now, we'll be two old dudes just shooting it, talking about sports. So Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back. I'm confident. Um, but yeah, man. Any last words you want to say to the people?
No, just really just thank you for tuning in. I know everybody's not gonna listen to every single episode, but that's why we like to distribute it in many different ways.
Exactly.
Spotify, YouTube, social media, our clips, just any way you guys interacted. We just want to say thank you. And I'll say this, we're not done yet. So stay
Yeah.
tuned. Check our Instagram. We're gonna have one final send off, you could say.
Yeah.
So this is not the end. We got one more thing coming up,
Yeah.
but maybe the end on the Spotify
End of the
episodes for
Spotify
now.
podcast things. Yeah, for now. Who knows when we'll be back, but yeah, temporarily we'll be taking an extended break. Um, I don't know. Is it technically retiring and then like coming out of retirement? Is that what it would be classified as? I don't even know.
I
I don't
mean,
even know
I
how to
I
classify it.
guess. I mean, if Tom Brady can do it,
Yeah,
or MJ can do it, like why can't we do it?
exactly. That and it'll be the two words whenever we do come back.
I'm back,
Or I guess
or
we're
we're
back.
back.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, guys, just kind of wrap it up. Once again, can't say it enough from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate all the support you guys have given us over the past 4 years. Matt, one more time. I mean, I'm still gonna see you all the time, but
Yeah.
um it's been fun talking sports with you every week for the past, pretty much 4 years. So yeah, one last time, guys. We appreciate it. Take care. Until we see you guys again, have a good one. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time.